Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are so very close to getting our hands on Borderlands 3. I cannot wait. I am bursting at the seams. But ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to talk your ear off about the endgame that exists in Borderlands 3, the new things that they're doing to elongate the endgame essentially, and my favorite thing, which is the roadmap for the game. Little spoiler alert, they said that they are going to be supporting the game with 3 big-ass DLCs in the span of a year, with a bunch of micro expansions in between those massive expansions. Very similar to Destiny, although Borderlands did do a lot of this beforehand, like the whole bloody harvest thing that we're about to go over. Anyways, let's start with the end game. So what happens when you finally conclude with beating the DLC, or not the DLC, sorry, the main story in Borderlands 3? You get access to this thing called Mayhem. Now, by the way, I learned all about this last night. I was watching the Borderlands 3 launch party where Greg Miller interviewed with the head developer dude, and they were talking about endgame things as well as the roadmap and all that. Anyways, so that's where all this information is coming. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that live stream, so you'll have to forgive me. They deleted it. It's not that I couldn't find it, it's just that it's not there anymore. So yeah, so I will just be echoing the things I heard in that live stream. So let's go. Okay, so what will happen when you beat the game, the storyline at least, in terms of Borderlands 3? Well, you'll get access to this thing called Mayhem. Now, there are 3 tiers to Mayhem, progressively getting impossibly hard. But with every tier that you go up, you get a higher chance of getting legendaries to drop, as well as something else entirely. There is this new rarity that is basically just like an aura on top of other rarities. So you can get a white with this rarity, or you can get a gold or legendary or an exotic, whatever your terminology is, with this as well. Now the reason why you want this is, to me, it's very similar, at least the way that they make it sound. It's very similar to the pre-sequel's weird moon dust kind of aura that they have on the guns, except hopefully it doesn't make all the guns look disgusting. So yeah, like an additional bonus. So it's just another thing for you to kind of go hunt for, which is both good but also terrifying. So for instance, maybe there's a special legendary weapon that is immensely powerful, but the way they kind of counter its power is by being having a crazy reload speed. But maybe if you got one of these special auras when doing a Mayhem playthrough, you'd get something that increases your reload speed, countering that exotics or legendaries buff and just making it just a buff. So stuff like that is, I think, what they're getting at. But the reason why I said it was terrifying is because in Borderlands, the weapon itself is what you're hunting for, as well as the legendary prefix, as well as the level. So yeah, you could be hunting for a shotgun, but if the barrel of the shotgun is not what you need, then you're going to be not getting that perfect legendary. Now on top of that, they've added a perfect, I guess, side buff is what it's called, because it's not as, I don't think they're as powerful as a legendary's effect, but it's probably still worth hunting, or else why would you do Mayhem, yeah? Anyways, to explain Mayhem, the event itself, I think we kind of went over what the farming loop is in terms of Mayhem. What Mayhem is I think it's like an amplified Vault Hunter mode, because you have buffs and negatives. So you're basically replaying the game, or is it a mission? I think it's replaying the entire game. That's what I got from it, at least. So you're replaying the entire game with a bunch of new modifiers. If you've ever played Destiny or other games like it, it kind of has those good and bad modifiers. Like it may be like fire damage is massively enhanced. Or it might be something like a Grenadier, which means your grenades maybe will regen and do more damage. It'll also maybe stuff like being in the air will kill you. Or sorry, being in the air will give you way more damage. Or I think I seen one that was something like, when you are standing still, you take way more damage. It kind of enforces you having to keep your ass moving and stuff like that. So just modifiers, good and bad, mostly bad, because again, Mayhem is supposed to be this thing that, yes, you're getting way more legendaries to drop, but you're also going up against a lot more buffs and debuffs specifically against you. So that's fun, but also chaotic. And I don't know when it will reset. I think that because the modifiers for Mayhem, I think will reset at a certain point. I just don't know if it's within the month or within like Monday or Tuesday or a week's time, you know? So that's what you get. You get access to Mayhem, the ability to hopefully get better loot, but it's also going to be quite a bit harder. And again, the developer went on and said that if you do go for tier 3, you are basically going to need to have your build fully going, like max level, all of your legendaries playing into your character's build, because it's that hard. Which I guess that's the final step to completing your build, is getting the legendaries that you want, but then also getting the special, like, aura. I don't know what they call it. It's like a certain I just call it an aura because it's like you can get a legendary, but get the thing on top of it. It's very similar to the whole moonshine thing with the pre-sequel. Anywho, that is one of the things you can do. Now, the other thing that you can do at Endgame in terms of activities is, of course, the Circle of Slaughter. Except this is not really sectioned to Endgame. You can do the Circle of Slaughter at any point, but they are hidden throughout the world, he said. So you're probably going to have to go a little bit farther in order to find the Circle of Slaughters, but they do exist, and they are ready to go. Now, unlike the Circle of Slaughters, there's a brand new thing that is very similar to it called the Proving Grounds. Now, this is only available... Well, I think the person said that it was available in stages. So if you get to a certain point in the campaign, probably around the 70% mark, you'll have access to find it. And then again, when you get to the end game, you'll have access to hopefully all of them. But yes, the Proving Grounds seem like what your next step is after you beat the game, is to go into the Proving Grounds. It's a wave-based survival thing like we've done before, except you have to move through these areas, and it's very much like Digistruct Pete. The gameplay that I've seen of it looks like that way anyway. But yes, you have a bunch of checklists to do. If you complete those checklists, you get better and better loot, so this is probably something that you should do just before you do playthrough 2, or at least that's what I get from it. But yes, another thing for you to do when you get to endgame, again, this is already more things that we had in Borderlands 2, or the pre-sequel. Well, we had fucking nothing to do in the pre-sequel, to be honest, but anyways, there is one more thing that is like it talks to a big problem that existed in Borderlands in general. And of course that problem is the feeling of progression in Borderlands has always been incredibly tied to builds and legendaries. As of XP and all those other things, it becomes really redundant really fast. So Gearbox has made this choice to actually change the badass rank, which thank God, because badass rank to me was just a mess. They forced you to do challenges that were ridiculous and kind of like ruin your gameplay experience. Anywho, also they had a cap on what you could buff, so it was really pointless. Keep buffing melee when it would eventually just turn into nothing. Anyways, sorry, got a little off track there. Still a bit pissed about that. Anyways, they've changed badass rank to be Guardian rank, or Guardian Power, I think is what they called it. So Guardian rank is like another skill tree, which again, endlessly cool. Love that. Now, it's not as meaty as your actual skill tree, of course, but it is separated between 3 skill trees. I think it's like the path of blood, the path of the survivor, and the path of something else. But essentially, it's the path of dealing damage, the path of surviving, and then the other path is, I think, utility-based things. Like one of the capstones, or like 2 points down the skill tree for survivor, was when you die and you get a second wind, you actually recover full shield, full health. So it gives you way better of an edge. But yeah, also how you increase Guardian rank is only through XP. I love this. Again, the shittiness of the badass rank was you having to complete a bunch of monotonous, frustrating challenges that force you to play it a stupid way. Like you had to crouch and get sniper headshots. I was like, what? I'm playing Krieg. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Anyways, so the point being is that now that it's just tied to XP, this flows so much better with combat and just playing the game. Especially with there being no level restriction, so you can go into your friend's game who maybe you ran past all the quests, but he just got into the game a day late. You can still go back, even if you're max level, and still benefit from helping him outside of just getting gear and getting loot from chests and stuff like that. So that, to me, is amazing. It makes, again, it seems like Gearbox has basically taken down every kind of hiccup that you'd face when just wanting to play with your friends, reasons for playing with your friends, and all those things, which is great. So again, Guardian rank is just another skill tree. You increase said skill tree by just playing and getting XP the good old-fashioned way, and that's it. And again, I love that. Alright, so that is essentially the end game. Now, you might be like, well, that's not enough. I have an insatiable need for content. And I'm like, I'm with you, fam. I agree. I played Destiny for years, and I still was never satisfied. Anyways, also because I didn't have people to play with. Anyway, I don't talk about it. Let us talk about the Borderlands 3 roadmap, or the Borderlands 3 2019 fall/winter content calendar. So, as you guys see here, we have the Bloody Harvest event. This is nothing new. This existed in Borderlands 2, and there's a bunch of these weird little Halloween spots and whatnot. But yes, this is free content, by the way. Both of these 2 expansions are free. So yes, the Blood Harvest event is free, and we get new spooky activities as well as unique event rewards. So that's kind of nice. Again, I don't exactly know what that is. I imagine like maybe a tiny little map, getting us to do a couple side quests and things like that, and probably get some skins, maybe some new legendaries, something like that, right? But the Maliwan takedown is where they start introducing some way better things. So again, free content, awesome to hear that. But there's an all-new map. I like this. I think it's probably going to be around the size, not too big, like the Attack on Sanctuary, probably that kind of gist. But still crazy that you're getting a brand new free map. That's awesome. Anyways, challenging new enemies to tear down, awesome, as well as take down an all-new boss. Awesome. And earn powerful rewards. This makes me excited because, again, the whole draw, at least to me, for Borderlands is farming legendaries to see if they'll maximize your build or see what they'll do or anything like that. And I do hope they take awareness of like legendaries that are just generally good to have, like a weapon that has lifesteal or a weapon that can cuss an enemy back just because it's fun to have, you know? Not just like a specific legendary that's good for a specific build, although that's good too, but I feel like for events like this, you should probably have goofy weapons that are just kind of fun to take, mess around with, have a good time. Anyways, yeah, so that's awesome. New bosses to fight and hopefully get said legendaries. Good things, fun things. Next thing is DLC 1. So again, the interview that I watched last night, the person said, the head developer for Borderlands 3, was saying that there is going to be 4 DLCs in the span of a year. And then, if it proves to be lucrative and good, then they might, probably will, continue to update the game. And again, the interviewer, Greg Miller, points out a great point and says that people are still playing Borderlands 2 like a crazy amount now. So, it almost gives Gearbox the reassurance of like, hey, you could do a paid-as-a-service game, and I think you would be fine. I think you could make Borderlands go a lot, very, very long, and people would be fine with it, considering how many people are still playing Borderlands 2 to this day on Steam. The numbers are insane. It's just a stupid amount for a game that's as old as it is. That's because Borderlands 2 is fucking great. Anyway, sorry. Again, DLC 1 is also paid content, so you have to pay for this one. It is included with the Season Pass, and of course, new campaign add-on, details coming at a later date. So, just generally, hella amped for that. Again, especially having watched the interview and hearing that if the game does well, then they're interested in pushing it further, which already, I mean, honestly, Borderlands 2 already went pretty far when it comes to DLCs and whatnot, so I love the idea of it being like, well, if it's monetarily viable, we'll do it. And I don't know, if Borderlands really shit the bed, I'd be shocked. I mean, it's weirder things have happened, honestly, so I don't know, like maybe a Fortnite 2.0 comes out and kicks it right in the balls, I don't know. But that is basically it, guys. I just want to let you guys know about the end game, and I'm absolutely amped about it. I like the idea of there being this carrot on a string with the Guardian rank kind of being there, as well as just thinking about how that would play into you playing with your friends and all those things. And of course, the end game roadmap makes me just hyped to, okay, I'm actually able to get invested in this game because it's not going to just toss it aside. Like, we know at the very least we are getting a certain amount of, DLC expansions because they've made a season pass, and if they didn't hold true to that, they'd be getting in a lot of trouble. Also, to hear them say that if it's commercially viable, they'll continue it, which, again, I'd be shocked if it wasn't. But again, stranger things have happened. One more thing I did want to talk about, guys. I just heard this morning, and I got super, super giddy because my brain just started turning. But apparently, this is also super out of left field, but apparently, you know how every character has their capstone, right? Like the final skill in their skill tree? And it's usually pretty strong. Well, I learned this morning that apparently there are like specific mods, like class mods, maybe probably even legendary class mods, that buff that final action skill. So you'll be able to get that capstone to +2 to +3. So I was thinking about it, and a lot of the capstones for Flak are actually pretty underwhelming, at least to me. So to see that that's a thing makes me hype, because I feel like Flak will be that character that has a lot of those class mods tied to buffing his pretty lackluster end tier capstones. Like again, he has one where you get 20% more, or your beast gets 20% more damage when you activate your action skill with full health. And I could see if there was even 2 more points in there, that would stack up to 60% damage that your beasts have when you summon them with full health. And I imagine it would also play into your health regeneration effects for your beasts. Although although I think there is going to be some healing weapons in the game, if not healing grenades, so I think that would be accomplishable, you getting full health with Zane. Also, he has a ton, not Zane, Flack, sorry, Jesus. Anyways, I just want to tell you guys that, because I thought that was absolutely wicked. If you're looking over the skill trees and you're like, okay, that's kind of okay. Holy shit, if that had 2 points in it, that'd be broken as hell. That'd be amazing. Amara, for instance, she has, what do you call it, this one ability that gives her like 100 extra melee damage in that. So if you got 2 points in that, you make it too many must fall, or whatever it's called, and more melee damage. Insanity. Sorry. This is just who I am. I think about builds and I'm like, oh my god, what if? And then it ultimately is like balanced in some degree, and I feel sad about it, but you know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is me just hyped and talking about your ear off about Borderlands, the end game. Again, let me know what you guys are most excited about. I am actually really excited for just, again, I really find Borderlands humor goes really well with random parts of the year. So again, when Halloween turns around and you're getting Crazy Earl or something yelling at your face, telling you about how his brother's dead and he's come back to life and you gotta fight him. That to me has always been charming, so I can't wait for these seasonal kind of free updates, and I can't wait to cover them on the channel as well. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. We are so close to being able to get our hands on Borderlands at this point, and I cannot wait, but hopefully this video does something to hold you over. Thank you, and goodbye.